What is Power Query, guys? Power
Transformation
Query.
of data
Yeah.
from the source.
Yeah.
Using Power Query, we can do transformations,
Transformation and data cleaning.
data cleaning. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Good. So, guys, today, sorry, am I using my echo is coming? Hello? No, fine. Good. So, I'm sharing my screen, guys. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Okay. So, guys, what we have discussed last week is like Power Query Editor allows us to transform data. We're using Power Query Editor, we can transform or clean our data. So, which is Power Query component. Once we clean our data and load that data into Power BI, so this data modeling, data model view, this data view will be loaded with the cleaned data, which is called Power Pivot here. Okay, using that data, we will be creating visuals on top of the data available with us using different visuals as part of visualization pane. So these are the things that high level we have seen. And now today we'll prepare one sample file, and in detail we'll see how this cleansing in the sense, what all are the additional features that transform data or Power Query Editor that allows us. So what I'll do, I'll create few sale entries where that contains only sale date, product name, and the quantity it got sold and the unit price, and we do not have any the total price column there. And see how can we create a total price column in the data using Power BI, and which component allowing us to do so. Those things we'll discuss today. Good. Some opening Excel here. What is the visual, guys?
Graphical representation of data.
Yes, perfect. Graphical representation of data. What is an insight?
Meaningful, sir.
Meaningful.
Meaningful data.
Yeah. So meaningful information from the data. So whatever data that is available with us, on top of that data, whatever meaningful information that we are able to draw, that is called as an insight. And where this insight is used, guys, basically, where it is useful?
For decision making.
Perfect, for decision making. Okay. So as discussed, I'll create a sample file, date. I'll call this one as sale date, product, and quantity it got sold, and unit price. So unit price in the sense, let's suppose product name is, let's suppose sale date is March 1st, 2023 -03/01. March 1st is sale date, and product I'll say pen. I'll say 50 quantity got sold, but each individual pen cost is 10 rupees. So yes, then what is the total price here?
500.
500 rupees. But we are not having the data in our data, so in our Excel file. We are not having that particular total amount column here. Okay. So on March 2nd, so notebook. So we have sold 150 quantity, which is cost 25 rupees. Each notebook cost is 25 rupees. So we have sold 150 units of notebook. Okay. So I don't take too many entries here. I'll just simply take three products. I'll take pencils, 250, 5 rupees. This is my data, guys. How many columns I'm having here?
4, sir.
4 columns. How many rows of data I'm having here, guys? How many rows of data I'm having here?
3.
3. Good. So let's suppose I'm having one practice with me. What is that practice is? On the same date, if on the same date I'm having another sale transaction happen for the same product, then I will not enter the product name in my data. This is my practice. This way I used to maintain my data. Okay. Now tell me guys, the second product, the second sale entry is talking about which particular product? It belongs to which particular product? As per the information I have given to you.
No data.
It is related to pen. What I'm saying,
Pen.
on a given date, on the same date, if I'm having one transaction happened on a particular product, then below that product, right after that product, if any sale transaction happens, then I won't maintain product data. I'm interested in only quantity. That's all, quantity and price. I'll not repeat that product name. In that case, what is this? What is the product name of the sale entry?
Pens.
Pen. Perfect. Okay. Now,
Pen.
yeah, pen. So now here, now tell me for this entry,
Notebook.
Notebook.
notebook. Now tell me yes. For this entry,
Notebook.
how?
Notebook.
Date is 3rd March, and 3rd March its previous transaction is notebook. So in the next transaction, if I haven't entered any product name, then it belongs to notebook product only. I mean its previous sale entry product, and this particular sale entry, previous sale entry is this one, and this sale entry product is notebook. Okay. So I'll maintain serial number order as let me serial number column 1 to this way. Now I'm saving this file, guys. Okay, I'll save this file. So I'll go here, Power BI day 4. It is day 4, right? So guys, first we are trying to understand all the components. We are just visiting all the components, which are the components that are available with Power BI desktop. Once we are having like familiar with all the components which are available here and their functionality, then we'll go deeper step by step. Each area we will visit in detail. Okay. Sale entries. I'll simply say sale entries file. I have saved this file. Okay. Guys, give me a moment. Yeah, I'm back. Thank you. So now guys, what is I'm having this file with me on my machine along with Power BI desktop. Now tell me what is the way to import this data in Power BI?
To get data.
Exported data.
Yeah. So either
So
import
either
data,
import data,
either import data
either
from
import
Excel
data
option
from Excel
or get
Get
data,
or
data.
get data,
or either
or
directly by
either
clicking on
directly
the
by
Excel
clicking on
button.
the Excel button.
Okay. Someone waiting in the lobby. Okay. So now I choose this option, Excel workbook. Okay. So in day 4, I am having sale entries file, which I have created a while ago. Okay. So what is happening guys now? What is the next step? As soon as I select my file, which window will open? Navigator window will open.
Load or transfer.
Navigator window. So navigator window job is to extract the data. See, sale entries is a file that I have selected through the browse option, and inside that particular file I'm having a sheet with the name sheet 1. So I'm seeing sheet 1 here under navigator window. I'm selecting sheet 1 here. And now tell me guys, how many options that I'm having here from this window? Either I can directly go with loading my data, or I can go with transforming my data.
Transform data.
What options I'm having here, guys? Initially extraction is done. As soon as I select sheet 1 option here in the navigator window, extraction of data from the file which is available on the file system to Power BI. That extraction is done here. And as soon as I click on load, loading will happen without transformation. If I go for choosing transformation, then some actions that I can perform on my data, either cleaning or transforming one column data into other column, and I can perform few transformations, and I can, after transforming, again I have to load my data from the transformation window. Guys, tell me, what is the window name if I click that opens when I click on transform data option? What is that window name?
Power query.
Power query.
Power Query
Power Query Editor.
editor.
Power Query Editor. Good, thank you. So I'm choosing transform data option because I'm having few product columns as nulls, as empty. It is okay if I can maintain this data this way, if I am using this data for my own purpose, because I am the owner of this file, I am creating this file, I can understand wherever blank is there, then I'll immediately check for previous sale entry product, and I can understand this sale entry is related to this product. But we are importing this data into Power BI, and Power BI is not having that knowledge, right? Power BI simply treat whatever data you supply, it will simply load the data, and if you try to check for the sales of pen product, then it will simply check for the rows which are having column value, product column value as pen, and it will be able to identify only one sale entry instead of two, right? What Power BI needs? Power BI needs data, and that data you have to make sure correct full data is supplied to Power BI to draw your insights. I am having sale entry information from my business, and that particular data I need to cleanly and fully I have to supply to Power BI. Then I can ask Power BI, draw me a chart on the product sale, draw me a chart on product wise, date wise sale. If I ask Power BI, then Power BI will be able to give correct insights for me. If I provide incomplete data like this, then Power BI will be able to provide insights only whatever data that can understand. Got my point, guys?
Yes.
Everyone got my point? The importance of supplying clean data to Power BI. Okay. Now I'm going for choosing transform data option, and see a window with the name Power Query Editor will be opened here. I'm going to show you only simple transformation, guys, not complex ones, very simple ones. And data is getting loaded. See guys, as soon as we choose transform data option under query settings, we are seeing all these actions carried out in the background. We haven't performed any single transformation or any action here so far. We have just clicked on transform data in navigator window, and that navigator window routed us to Power Query Editor with whatever data we have chosen. And if you look at query settings, there are few actions, few steps are carried out and executed in the background. What is the first step? Source. Source is nothing but loading data from the file. Okay. Now see guys, from this point we are going to apply our transformations. From this point we are going to apply our transformations. So now what I'll do, I'll open Power Query. I'll open Power Query Editor. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. See guys, here this particular column data I need to handle. This particular column data I need to handle. So what I have to do guys here, I have to fill,
Fill down.
we have to fill down, okay, but as per my need, what I have to do, wherever blank product name is there, I have to fill that blank with the product which is available in its previous row, previous sale entry. Now this second row, which product name needs to be filled, guys?
Pen.
And for this row,
Notebook.
and for this row,
Notebook.
notebook. So what is the direction here? From where we are picking value and where we are applying? What is the direction?
Up to down.
Upwards, up to downwards. Like product is available upwards. I mean in the previous entry, and that needs to be filled with the entry in the downward direction, wherever blank is there. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Everyone clear? Now,
Clear, sir.
yeah, I'm selecting product column. I'm going to transform tab. Under transform tab, I'm having fill option. If I choose fill, what it's asking? Two options. It is allowing to
Down.
select two options.
Down.
Down and up are there. And as per my need, downwards filling blank values downwards is my requirement. I'm choosing down. And as soon as I select this option, see how this column data going to transform. I've chosen down. See, guys, the second row blank column is filled with its previous entry, notebook, and last entry notebook. Clear, guys? What I did, we have
Yes.
applied a transformation on one column data. Okay. And here I'm going to home tab again. What I'm doing, close and apply. As soon as choose close and apply, what happens? Loading will happen. Transformation is completed. Extraction is completed in navigator window. And as I have chosen transform data option, I have opened with Power Query Editor, where I have transformed my product column data, and I'm choosing close and apply. As soon as do this one, what happens?
Data.
Data loading will happen in Power BI desktop. Let's see. It takes some time. It's saying loading. Load operation is being carried out. See, guys, right side, while loading is happening, see, notice this data pane. What happens to data panes, guys? As soon as we load data,
Show the entire data, rows and columns.
it will take the names of the columns which are available in your imported data. So those columns are required to create visuals, to bind your column data to visuals, right? So only those column names from that particular sheet, imported sheet, will be listed here. Sheet wise column data. See here, what was your sheet name in Excel file? What was your sheet name, guys, in Excel file?
Sales date, sir. Sales date.
See here, sheet name I'm asking. Sheet name.
Sheet 1.
Sheet 1. Sheet 1. And now, what is the name that is being shown here under data pane?
Sheet 1.
Sheet 1. Inside sheet 1, how many columns data we were having, guys? How many
4.
columns were there in my Excel file?
4, sir. 6.
Carefully observe.
5
Five,
columns, sir.
5 columns. So those 5 columns related names will be listed here. If I drill down here, I'll be able to see. It got hanged, guys. Give me a moment. See how many columns are listed here?
5, sir.
5, which are available in my Excel file. Serial number, sale date, product quantity, unit price. Okay, they got ordered in the name in the ascending order of their column names: product, quantity, sale date, serial number, and unit price. For respective types of data, respective symbols added here. For numerics, this symbol; for date, this symbol; for text, no symbol. Okay, and if I want to see imported data, which particular section of my Power BI desktop helps me? Where can I go to view my data, loaded data?
Report view, sir.
No, report view is this one, canvas. Data view.
Data.
Data view is where you can see imported or loaded data. Loaded data. So now see, guys, your loaded data is as per the transformation you have applied or is as per the file that you have imported.
As per file transformed.
Perfect. I have imported my file. On top of my file, I have applied transformation. That particular transform data loaded into my data view. Clear, guys? Because while importing data from sale entries file in the navigator window, we have chosen transform data option. And there in the Power Query editor, we have transformed using fill method. And that filled data is loaded here. Clear so far?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
okay. It's not a big deal anyway. Okay. Now see here, guys. I want to have one more column added here, which is total price. Which is total price. Because every creating every visual or getting insights is more reasonable if I do any reporting on the total price instead of unit price, right? Instead of unit price, I need to know what is the total price of my business, like each product. What is total price of the date 1st March? What is the total price, total sales of all products which were sold on 1st March? What is the total sales of products which were sold on 2nd March? And what are total sales of all products which were sold on 3rd March? So this was my expectation. Okay. So to have that, I need to have a total column added here. So see here, guys. Here, go here. As soon as you go to data tools, data view section, we'll be having table tools menu enabled here. Okay. So here I choose new column. See here, guys, able to see this new column option, right? Everyone, read out, guys. What is the tooltip is saying? What tooltip is saying? Write a DAX expression that creates a new column in the selected table and calculates value for each row. I'll tell you what is DAX. Write a DAX expression that creates a new column. Okay, I'm choosing new column and see what happens. A new column added here. What I'll say to that new column, I'll give name as what happened? 1 second, I skipped a hand. Okay. I'm choosing new column. A new column added here. To this new column, I'll give name as total sales. Okay, see here, my column name also getting changing here, total sales. So what I'll say, total sales. What is formula for total sales, guys?
Quantity into unit price.
Quantity into unit price. So in my data, what is the column that containing quantity information? What is the name of the column?
Quantity
Quantity. I'll type quantity, column name,
and
exact
unit
column name,
price.
into unit price. Sheet 1 of unit price into sheet 1 of quantity. Sheet 1 of, inside sheet 1 we are having quantity and total, quantity and unit price, right? Sheet 1 of quantity into sheet 1 of unit price, and I'm hitting enter. So as soon as I hit enter, what happens? For each row, this formula will be applied, and for each row, total sales will be updated. Clear, guys? For each row, 250 into 5, 1250. 75 into 25, 1875. 50 into 10, 500. Clear, guys? Guys, clear how to add a new column here?
Clear.
Okay. So now tell me how many columns I'm having in my data view.
Total 6.
Total 6 with a additional column added here. 5 are imported from the file, and whereas 6th column is created here in the data view using new column option. Okay. Now under data section, go to report view. Under data pane, Do we have total cell column added or not? Tell me, guys.
Added.
Added. Total cell column is of which type, guys? Text or numeric?
Numerical.
But why I'm not seeing this symbol here? Whereas for other numeric columns, I'm having the sigma symbol. But for total cells, I'm not seeing this symbol. What is the reason?
It's a calculated column.
Yeah. So why it's saying it's a derived column. It's a derived column. It's not a direct column which is imported. It is derived from the existing data. What existing? How from which columns it got derived, guys? Total cells is derived from which columns? Using quantity and unit price columns. Okay. It's a derived column. It is newly derived here. Okay. Which is nothing but a calculated column which we have formulated and created this one. Okay. See guys, what are the things that we have seen? In the Power Query editor, we have applied fill formula, and using that fill formula, we were able to fix blank name issues in the product column. That is first thing. In the second section, I mean under data view, we have created one new column by formulating the existing column data. Now, we will go in detail for each thing. I am going back to transform data option, which opens Power Query editor for me again. See guys, how many columns data you're seeing here? Are we seeing total cells here? Are we
No.
seeing total? No, right? Good. So transform data will always show us the data which is loaded here, imported. See now, I'm going to step fill down. As soon as it is auto selected right now, and for this selection, for every step that got selected here, we will be seeing formula which is applicable, which is applied to perform that particular step. When I selected fill down, this is the formula I'm seeing. Table dot fill down. In the product column, fill down. Table dot fill down. So this is called as M language, guys. M language. Nothing but mashup language. M language. Majority time we will not write any language, I mean any syntax or any code here. But for your understanding purpose, it is called M language. M functions. We used to call these things as M functions. So it is almost like our Excel macros, guys. You can treat that way. I'm coming to this query settings. I'm selecting source option here and see here says what is a M step, I mean M function that is applied. Excel.workbook, file contents, and the path given here. File.contents, the path given here. So which is our source file, loading data from our source file. And next step is in the navigation window, this way our data available. If I selected sheet 1, our data is presented this way. And next promoted header. So initially in the navigation window, your header, your Excel file header is not treated as the actual header. It has given a different name, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. So all these steps are automatically performed in the background, guys. Only the explicit action that we performed here is filled down step by using transform tab, fill down this option by choosing this column. We have applied this step. Okay, clear, guys? Now, whenever you perform any transformation in the background, Power BI desktop will generate M language related code, M functions. It uses M functions to transform your data. And I'm done. I'm done with my Power Query editor transformation. I'm done. After that, my data loaded into data view. In the data view, I have created one column, one column here using existing column data. And when I go for choosing that new column option, what I was suggested with the tooltip, it is saying write a DAX expression that creates a new column in the selected table and calculates values for each row. That was a tooltip when I focus on new column option. So whatever function that you have created here is of DAX function, guys. DAX, data analysis expression, DAX function. Okay, clear, guys? Now tell me, where we have discussed about two languages, M language and DAX. In Power Query, we will use M functions or M language. In Power Pivot, we will use DAX functions. Clear, guys? As part of Power Query, what we will use, guys? We use M functions. Anyway, though in the background, Power Query taking care of all the M language related function generation, but we have to know what is happening with the transformation. We are just using fill formula in the screen, but in the background, actually, some code needs to be executed to transform our data, right? As per our need. As per our need, some code needs to be executed in the background. So that is called M language code. Okay. And in the in the data view, in the Power Pivot, I will be able to create multiple columns from the existing columns. So that I can achieve using DAX functions, DAX, data analysis expressions. Okay. Now tell me, as part of Power Query, we are using which function? Sorry, which language, guys? As part of Power Query, guys.
Mlang.
M language. As part of Power Pivot,
DAX.
DAX.
DAX. Perfect. Now tell me, what are the components of Power BI Desktop?
Power
Canvas.
Query, Power Pivot, Power View.
Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. Okay. As part of Power Query, cleaning, and so basically it is meant for ETL operations, right, guys? I hope everyone remember about ETL operations that we have discussed in detail, guys. Cleaning and transforming. After transformation, loading data. So this is job of your Power Query. And about Power Pivot here for transformation, which language, guys, it is used? Which language is used here? M.
M language.
M language or mashup functions will be used here. And now in the Power Pivot, what is Power Pivot, guys? It is used for data modeling. Okay. And now here data modeling, guys. We are creating a model, data modeling. Now tell me, guys, in our data, what is that? Tell me what are the features of this data model? When I say data model, what is this? What are the features of that particular model, guys? Whatever data that we are talking about in our use case. So high level, guys, whatever general understanding you have, you just talk about them. That becomes your data model. Okay, by looking at this data, what I can say, okay, my data model containing 5 columns with the names, serial number, sale date, product, quantity, unit price. My data model containing 5 columns. My data model containing 5 columns. What are those? Serial number, sale date, product, quantity, unit price. And I'll say my data model containing one character column and one date column, and rest of columns are numeric columns. Okay, guess clear? Just whatever the nature of your data, so data model nothing but it defines the information about your data, guys. Have this straightforward understanding with you. It's not a big technical word. Whenever we say data model, it talks about the data which that particular data model containing. Whenever we say a data model, it talks about the data it containing, that's all. And data contained in the form of rows and columns. Okay, simply you have to tell, okay, I'm having 5 columns data in my data model. I'm having 5 columns in my data model. Out of that, one is text rate column, another one is date column, rest of columns are numeric ones. That's all. These are features of your data model. And Power Pivot allows us to deal with particular data model. That's all. Used for data modeling. So now, if I add a new column, what I'm doing, I'm modeling data. Again, I'm changing my data model if I add a new column here. So let's suppose I can add total price here, but I have not added here. The reason is I wanted to show you this can be achieved using DAX function under Power Pivot. So I can simply say this column into this column is your total price. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm doing data modeling only here. I have added a new column, and for that new column I have formulated data. Clear, guys? Creating structure here. Creating a data model, nothing but a creating structure of your data. Clear, guys? You can derive new columns using existing columns data. So for this purpose, which language we use, guys, here? DAX. DAX formulas will be used. Data analysis expressions will be used here. And when it comes to Power View, it's simply, what is Power View, guys?
Visualize data.
Yeah, we can create reports or dashboards. We can create reports using visuals by binding data from where? Using loaded data, we can say. Okay, guys? Clear, guys?
Suman, one query actually related to the difference in between transforming Power Query and Power Pivot. In both the places, we can do the modification, right? While loading the data, we can transform it and add columns or change it. Or during Power Pivot, also we can add columns or modify the existing columns. Then why this difference between Power Query and Pivot? Only query will be transforming and pivot is not under transforming.
See, whenever you do transformation, that is applicable for all the for entire column. It is not for the new things, right? If you go for doing transformation using transform data, see here, you can apply transformation for a specific selection for a specific column and using the predefined functions which are available here. Okay. So whereas if you go for DAX expressions under Power Pivot, it allows us to derive new columns, new calculated columns, and new measures. Let's suppose here I wanted to have a new measure instead of a new column. So anyway, that concept is like out of context, just trying to tell you. So if I go for taking a new measure here, so whereas when I say new column, that column contains data for every row from the existing model. If I go for choosing a new measure here, I wanted to have only the total of all the column data from total sales. So what I will say, grand total. Okay. What I can say, sum of my total sales column. Now tell me how many, what kind of value it is. It's a single value or it is a value which can be repeated for each of the row here. Grand
It
total
will
is a
be a
single
single
value.
value
Single
only.
value. So
Yes.
yeah, DAX is like capable of doing all such measures. I mean, DAX is capable of creating all such measures. I mean, we are able to. I mean, the people, we developers, will be able to create all such measures. Now, I have shown you only one simple measure here. But as per your need, you will be able to create all such measures instead of affecting anything in your data model in
Okay,
terms of
so
adding a new column.
you mean to say like the mathematical calculations or any modifications with respect to the existing columns can be considered over here, and while loading the data, transformation can be done over there.
Yes, exactly. The
Okay.
business logic or business calculation, if you have any such things, then you can achieve them using DAX functions. DAX functions are similar to your Excel functions. In Excel,
Okay.
you can write all these functions, right? So it
Yes.
is almost
Yes.
same to Excel functions. Whereas transformations with respect to data cleanup and splitting the data are preparing your data in such a format that it is in a clean format, on top of which you can create your visuals without any gap. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Whereas
Fine.
this is for like on using what particular data I have to create my visual. Okay, so
Okay.
I need to define all such things. Okay, total sales is required to create a visual, and I need to have a grand total to show as a banner, okay, as a header saying, okay, this is my grand total, like that.
Okay. Fine.
Clear?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I still have this. Okay, guys, clear with this definition here? Everyone? Do this one. Yeah. Now, guys, clear with the role of each component here in the Power BI desktop. My intention is like you need to have good understanding on all the components which we have in Power BI desktop. That was my intention of this session. Clear, guys?
Yes.
I'll say Day4 components under Day4. I'll save this. Okay, good. So I'm closing this window here. I'll simply close. I'll not ask for applying. If I choose close and apply, then it will load. It will refresh my data which is available under data view. Okay. Now, what is your answer, guys? If someone come and ask you like, what is Power BI? Now, whatever understanding we have from these 3 to 4 sessions, if someone asks you what is Power BI, what is your answer?
Conversion of raw data into some meaningful data.
Okay, good. So, what is BI? The word BI,
Business intelligence.
business intelligence. The word BI is nothing but business intelligence. Okay. Now, what it allows? Power BI allows, you have to remember these 3 components. Then you can define cleanly, so that other person understand, okay, he's defining Power BI with respect to the components available as part of Power BI desktop, and he is having good understanding on that. So your first answer, your first definition must be in such a way that you have to talk about all the components instead of their names, their roles, their tasks you can tell about with the definition. If someone asks you what is Power BI desktop, you can say Power BI desktop is a BI tool, which is nothing but business intelligence tool, which helps us to clean and transform data, and using which we can model our data and we can create visuals and reports. Clear, guys? This sequence you have to remember: Power Query, Power Pivot, Power U. Power Query is for cleaning and transforming data. Power Pivot is used for Power Query used for cleaning and transformation or ETL operations. Power Pivot is used for modeling your data, and Power Query is used for visualizing your data using charts and other components which are available under visualization section. Clear, guys? I'll write here. Otherwise, it is a BI tool definition. A BI tool which helps us to clean, transform, next, analyze, and converts data into visual formats through reports and dashboards. So whenever you talk about this definition, whenever you give your answer through this definition, what people can understand, we are telling about all these three component related tasks. The role of all these three components. BI tools helps us clean, transform, analyze, convert data into visual formats. Converts nothing but creating Power View. I mean, creating reports using Power View. Okay. Guys, clear? Guys, as a whole, you people able to understand like what is a Power BI desktop and what are the components inside that, and which particular component is useful to perform which particular action, and using which language we can achieve that particular functionality. So that was my intention, guys. You people need to have good understanding all these things. Guys, clear?
Yes.
Clear, Anna?
Yeah, thank you. Now, so I'll tell you a few numbers here, guys. Numbers in the sense, Power BI is gaining more popularity than other BI tools. In interview, the next question will be, what are other BI tools that you know in the market? So just simply quote competitor Tableau. Tableau is its competitor. And how it is gaining popularity? I have in the session 1 I have shown you the search volume, the Google trend I have shown you. So the word Power BI taking becoming more popular when compared to its competitors like Tableau. That is one thing. And it is having maximum number of features here, guys. So I have told you, right, the DAX functions and M languages, it is having maximum number of features when compared to other BI tools. Okay. And connectivity wise, it is more popular. Connectivity wise, it is more popular. First thing is, it is becoming popular. I mean, search volume wise, more popular. How can you search this one, guys? How can you how can you arrive with search volume? From where we have seen this one, guys? Using Google Trends. And second thing, having maximum number of functions collectively, like both M and DAX. DAX. And what is third thing, guys? Connectivity wise, it allows connectivity from it's almost nearer to 100, we can say, almost nearer to 100 sources nothing but it can be data can be in the form of Excel file or CSV file, or it can be a direct database connection or some other ERP solutions like Salesforce, or from an Outlook or PDF. Like this we can connect through any data source. So it supports almost 100 plus data sources to connect with. So now tell me how many data sources we have seen so far. Yes.
Only one, Anna.
What is that?
Excel.
Only Excel source we have seen so far. It supports 100 plus data sources. And next, licensing wise also it is very cheaper, guys. Cost and licensing cost, you can say, when compared to. So instead of licensing part, because of other features like 100 plus data sources support, supports 100 plus data sources, maximum number of functions, M language and DAX function supports, and volume wise, like people are more interested in Power BI, the word Power BI itself, and licensing cost, and there are other parameters as well. Like there will be trends like in the market, like which particular tool is gaining more popularity, and there will be some forecast presented by few companies saying this particular tool can acquire this much a portion of the market going forward, like in next 5 years, or it creates almost like 1 million jobs in this sector, in this region. in BA market, like that few forecasts will be there, right? So even through that marketing teams, like through that portals also, it is recognized as more popular tool, and it became leader as well in those forecasting. Okay. Clear, guys? If clear, I can close this. Okay. Now, now. So we are talking every time about Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. So in the Power View, what we are saying, using a canvas window, using this canvas window, and using the visuals which are available under visualization section, and binding the data which is available as part of our data pane, data section, we can create reports. That was our understanding. Okay. How can you create a visual, guys, here? By using a visual which is available under visualization section and binding data to that particular visual. How a visual can be created. This is called canvas window. Canvas. What is general meaning of canvas, guys? What is general meaning of canvas? Where you can draw something, right? This is canvas. Here you can combine both visual and data. You can combine both visual and data. Let's suppose I'll select this bar chart under visualization section for now, and I select total sales on that. I'll choose set total sales. And total sales I want to see on date basis. Instead of date, I'll go for product. Product wise total sales. Okay. So here this is called as canvas, and this particular is resultant. This visual is resultant of our visual as well as see here. This is canvas. This is visual, and this is our data. By using these two things, my visual got created. Clear, guys? This is called visual. Is everyone clear? So by choosing a visual from the visualization section and binding data together to that particular visual, we can create a visual here. Okay. We can create a format, a visual format, which tells us some insight. Okay. Insight. This visual tells us insight. Guys, tell me what insight it is telling? It is telling, guys, what is inside here?
Product wise total.
Sales of notebook is higher. Huh? Notebook is popular selling product. Why? Because I'm seeing blue color bar more here. When I go to this particular section here, the lesson section, what is saying? Light blue is notebook, thick blue is pen, and orange is pencil. So by looking at this visual, which particular product is having more sales, guys?
Not
Notebook. This is inside here. Now tell me, guys, how many things are involved to create a visual? The actual visual plus the data. Two things construct your visual format. Okay, guys? And one more thing you have to understand here, I can create a visual this way. After creating a visual, you can format your visual styling. You can format your visual styling. So you can choose your visual in the canvas window. Choose your visual in the canvas window, and you can go to this option, format your visual option. Under formatting option, you can have x-axis wise formatting options, y-axis wise formatting options, legends, data labels. Data labels nothing but whatever bar we are showing here, seeing here, it talks about that particular bar. See, go here. I'm turning on data labels here. As soon as turn on, what's saying? The values are being shown here on the bar. If I turn off them, empty bars with filled colors I'm able to see. But if I turn on, then I'll be able to see the actual values which are related to that particular product. I'm able to see. Okay, so we will see each visual wise options, guys, in the next session. But you people need to have understanding like this. The first thing is a visual can be binded with the data so that we can create a visual format which gives some insight. And visuals can be formatted using this option. Formatting option. This thing, visual formatting option. Remember this. Case clear? Is everyone clear?
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. So that's all for the day, guys. We will continue in the next session. Any queries here?